Joel, in the short week, is it more physical or mental to kind of get over that hurdle for the short turnaround?
A little bit of both. Mentally you have to learn it quicker. So I think that's one of the big issues is trying to get the game plan compressed into 2.5 days instead of you get 4 or 5 usually in a regular week. But then physically too, usually you're not really starting to feel better from the game till Wednesday, Thursday, and that's when you're starting to play. So it's a fight for both. I would say for me personally, is just mentally getting ready because once the game comes, like I'm going to play regardless how I feel. But you got to know how the game plan is going to work for you.
Joel, can you see this Chubb Hunt tandem kind of shifting things dramatically for the offense?
I hope so. I mean, they're both willing blockers. They both can catch out of the backfield. They can line up in different spots, and they both run with great energy. It was cool to see them both out there, and I think Hunt, ran the ball hard the few times he got it, but the cool thing was he was lead blocking a few times, and some of those were big spring plays. You know what I mean? We don't have a fullback in there, but he kind of acted like it a couple times, and that was really cool to see his willingness to be that guy.
Joel, when you had a chance to kind of watch the film on that series, especially when you had 7 or 8 plays,
yeah.
What did you see? What didn't appear to be?
Yeah, we it wasn't one guy, all 8 plays, but someone was getting beat at the point of attack, pretty much, every play. Then, I think Odell probably could have had a couple catches if they wouldn't have, got PI, but it was smart by them, put it back on the 1 yard line. We just got to find a way to get the ball in the end zone. You have that many chances. It's one-on-one block, and you got to win. Give them enough room because, you got to give Chubb enough space to get in the end zone, no matter what play's called, no matter what happens, and we didn't.
Do you ever remember playing a team that was so willing to just kind of say, we'll take the PI instead of
No, I've heard about it like in the game situations or somewhere you want to I don't know exact situations, but I've heard of it before. But give them a touchdown or have another chance. It was a good play for them. Hopefully next time we can capitalize.
If you're surprised or not, but what does it say about the Steelers and their culture that they get rid of Brown and Bell? Ben goes down. They're 5-4 and still being the Steelers.
Yeah, it's impressive. They do a good job. I know a lot of people probably tried to write them off at the beginning of the year when they lost all those guys and had the injury to Ben, but they fight, and their defense has been impressive. I know their offense is ball control now, get the ball out of his hands quick, but their defense has been good. They get after the quarterback, I think second most sacks in the league so far. They pressure a lot. And they make big plays. Fitzpatrick's came over and has a few pick sixes. Joe Hayden's been playing really well on the outside. So it's one of those things where I think they rallied around their defense and their culture and say, hey, we're not giving up on this season. And it's really been impressive to see. They're a big challenge for us. And, it's a divisional game, AFC North, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. It's going to be a battle no matter who's on the field. So it's going to be a fun one.
When you look at Joe Hayden, does he almost look rejuvenated?
He looks good. Yeah, he. I think this last game was one of his better games he's played in a little while. He's made some big plays for him, and he's always had a good energy. I thought to him, the way he plays, but he is in his 10th year, I think, but he's only like 30 or 31 years old, so he's not like a super old guy. He came into the league young, and he's playing hard for him.
Do you the way the punt was blocking? I know he didn't do it that much, but. Are you almost surprised? It doesn't look like he would be.
When we put in the game plan, I went up to him on Wednesday, jokingly. I was like, "You ready to play a little fullback this week?" Because I saw the plays. I'm like, "Wow, he's going to be lead blocking on these middle linebackers or free safeties and stuff." That's a fullback's job. I'm like, "You ever play fullback in your life?" Joking with him, and he's like, "I'm just ready to play." And I think that was just his mentality, to go out there and do whatever's called. Because when you're in the heat of the moment, it's fight or flight, and he just took off and really was willing to make those plays.
Can you just talk about the intensity of what this game is going to be like, the playoff atmosphere, and just how nuts this is going to be?
Yeah, I know the fans are coming in groves, and I know Pittsburgh travels well, so I'm sure some of their fans will be here as well. But they play with an intensity, and we have to match that or play with even more. I think that's been their mantra forever is they want to out-tough, out-physical the opponents, and they try and intimidate people that way. But I've been in enough of these games now where you have to be ready for hey, at some point they're going to make a big play on offense or defense, and we have to be ready to respond. And we have to do a good job this week of knowing exactly where we're at. I think it's good for us being on a short week in the sense where we've kind of been a roller coaster team. When we win, we don't always play well the next week. But if we can have a short week and stay focused, we can come into it and hopefully keep it rolling a little bit.
And Coach said something the other day about you guys are going to have to play with passion, but he wants you guys to control your emotions. Do you feel like that's a point of emphasis this week?
Yeah, he talked about it. In a game like this, a divisional game, you can't have a 15-yard penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct. You can't do something stupid and get thrown out of the game. It's one of those things where you have to stay focused and play between the whistles as hard as you can, as passionate as you can. But then once the play's over, it's over, and you go to the next play.
Will they try to get you guys into those kind of situations?
I don't know about individually. They play hard. I think I go against Cam Hayward a lot. He plays hard. He doesn't talk. He lets his talking on the field, happen. And you respect that as a player. If a guy just plays hard, doesn't say anything after the whistle, doesn't push after the whistle, you respect that as a player, and you're like, hey, we can battle, and we'll see what happens when we get on the field.
Has he changed, Hayward, or is he the same steady guy?
Oh, I mean, he's playing great this year. He has, I think, 6 sacks now. But he's just a physical guy. You see him every week. There's a player on one of the other lines that doesn't expect his bull rush or something, and he puts him back in the quarterback's lap. It's the way he plays the game, and he's fierce, and he's a great competitor. It's one of the games every year I circle like, all right, we're gonna have a battle this week, and but he's playing really well. He's still ascending, I think, in his career.
Baker made a comment the other day about how loud it was when you guys had the ball. I mean, a lot of Bills fans were there, and assume the Steelers will be the same. So do you have to almost prepare for that?
It was a little bit loud a couple times in the red zone there. Going into the by our tunnel. I thought it got loud a couple times, but we can't control that. I mean, we go out there when we play, and we know the dog pound comes and shows up. And that fourth quarter, I don't know if I've ever heard it louder than that. On that last drive for us. So it was a cool atmosphere. But Pittsburgh's going to travel no matter where they go, and you're ready for it. You do what you need to do and be ready to make plays.
Just collectively as a group, the way this defense is playing with all the takeaways they've been getting, all the sacks, and just how on fire they've been over the past 7 games. Really.
Yeah.
Can you just talk about that?
Yeah, it's been impressive. They are an opportune defense. I think, they've had they lost Tuitt as well, who's a great player as well, but they have the front four to not really need pressure on third down. They can run games, and Watt and Dupree and Hayward all can win their one-on-one battles. So that's really helped them. You put the quarterback in pressure situations. He throws the ball a little earlier than he wants to, and then there's turnovers. I think Fitzpatrick's done a good job of jumping a few routes and really making plays. They've been opportune. I think they're plus 13 maybe this year in turnover margin or something like that, and that's huge. If you can win the turnover battle, a lot of times, they put up those stats. Turnover battles is one of the main ones that you win games. And it's a credit to them. We got to stay focused. I think the last couple of weeks we've done a lot better job of taking care of the ball, less penalties, and those are things we all have to continue to execute on.
With a team like that, you play them so often, does it change year to year? You just kind of know, this is Pittsburgh. It doesn't matter who it is. We know what they're going to do.
It changes year to year. I think they have the same mindset of defense. They have the same coordinators, but they're going to have a new wrinkle. That's the cool thing about playing a team every year is like they're not going to come in exact same game plan. One game they might be heavy nickel pressure. The next game it might be a Mike or a Jack or somebody of that nature. But it's the same. They have the same thought as a team. They're not changing their whole thoughts. It's just what are they going to show at us this week? What's their drink of choice for the week, as you say.